So I think to understand the story of how we got involved in foster care, it starts in 2010, and we had been married for about 2 years at that point, and we were expecting for the first time, and really excited. We had planned everything accordingly. We were ready financially. We were ready to have kids, and we went to an ultrasound, and we found out two things. One, that we were pregnant with twins, and number two, that neither of them had heartbeats, and that was really hard. And we were broken, and God met us there. Years went by. We were blessed with two boys of our own, but throughout that season, both of us, I don't know where it came from, both felt a strong calling towards adoption, and we didn't know what it was going to look like. We did a lot of research in international adoption, domestic adoption. Eventually went to an information session on foster care and adoption. And at that information session, we had a box in front of us. One was foster care, one was adoption, and we checked off adoption. I was not interested in doing foster care. It would be too hard. There was the potential that my heart could be broken and I would be sad. I'd be attached to these kids and they'd leave, and that would make me feel bad.
Yeah, we walked out of the session and Michael was talking about how he could never be a foster parent and it would just be really hard, and he doesn't know how people did that. And although I agreed with him, I also felt like a tugging on my heart that it was something maybe we should do. But I didn't say anything to him because I knew he didn't feel the same way. So I kind of pushed it down and tried to ignore it for a long time. And after a whole year of me ignoring that, God was nudging me along that whole year, like reinforcing that this was something that we should do. So I eventually built up enough courage to tell Michael that I felt that way, and I was terrified of what he might say. But to my surprise, when I told him, he actually agreed with me, and we decided together that it was selfish of us to not do it just because of the way we might feel if kids got taken away from us. So we then decided that we're going to go back to that information session again, only this time thinking of it as we are going to be foster parents. And I think a whole year had gone by the time from when we started the process to when we finally got a phone call, and they called Michael at work.
Yeah, when they called me at work, and in the same voicemail, they said, "Hey, congratulations, you got your license. Oh, and by the way, we've got a set of twins that we want to come place in your home." And of course, we had told them we were only interested in one. But I mean, as soon as they said twins, we thought back to that broken couple sitting in the hospital and just said, "Man, this is God. This is God's timing. This is God." And yeah, that's it. And we were foster parents. 2 days later, those little girls showed up. When I look back, it's so easy just to see how God was working in me and us at that time, because I was nervous. I don't even think I had shared it with Heather at the time. Like, am I going to be able to love on other people's kids? Am I going to be holding back because I know they might leave? But when those girls showed up, Heather had said something or posted something on social media that said, "We're just going to love them as hard as we can for as long as we have them." And that just hit me so hard. And I mean, that's what we did. And it was risky, and it was scary, and there was a lot of uncertainty about what was going to happen. And one of the hardest parts was, we signed up for this. We had went to training for this. We knew what was coming, and knowing the possibility that the girls might go home. That's the purpose of foster care, to provide a safe home for these kids until their home or their family is safe to go back to. But the hardest part was with our boys. They didn't train, they didn't prepare, and they cried themselves to sleep at night for weeks on end. "I don't want my sisters to leave." And that was heartbreaking. It was tough, and we had to explain to them, and I'm just thankful that their eyes were open to this need, to this world through this. But there was also, you said, that sense of peace that we had throughout that whole time, knowing that we were exactly where God wanted us to be. We were doing exactly what we felt he called. I mean, we knew this is what God wanted us to do. It was to become foster parents for these girls.
Now that our eyes have been opened to the foster care system, the kids that are in placement, and all the hurting families that are out there just in our community alone, it's hard to turn away from it. We decided back in March to close our home to any further placements through foster care. It was a hard decision, but we felt it was best for our family. But at the same time, we know about all the things happening out there and how there's so many kids that need somebody just to love on them, even if it's for a short time. So we decided to become CASA volunteers, and we actually just got our first case a couple months ago. And what a CASA does is they advocate for the child. So you get assigned to a foster child, and you just basically get to know them and get to know their case, and you talk to people in their life. You talk to their teachers, their foster parents, their biological parents, and you get to know their case, and then you're able to advocate for them in court, so you kind of speak for them. And so far in that journey, it's been different and new for us, but we've already felt like just such a connection with these kids, and just being able to love on them and let them know that they're not alone has been really cool for us. So we hope to continue doing that, and also to just raise awareness for kids in foster care and for adoption. Just tell everybody our story and hope that other people will get involved.
It's just amazing to sit here. We're at the other end of our foster care journey, and to look back, and like I said, I think back to me and Heather sitting in that ultrasound room looking at those twins on the ultrasound monitor without a heartbeat, and we were in tears. But I just know that God was looking at us and saying, man, just wait. Like, just take a step of faith in this foster care journey, and look what I've got planned for you. Because, I mean, it's just been incredible to look back throughout the whole process at each moment, like, there was God, and there was God, and there was God, and it's so obvious. I mean, I couldn't do this on my own. We couldn't do this without him. And the foster care, adoption, it's broken, it's messy. We met our girls' biological parents, and they gave up their parental rights to us voluntarily, and that's heavy and it's hard, but there's just such a beauty in it, and it just paints a picture of how God adopts us into his family. And I'm just so glad that he brought us along to be a part of it.